Tonight, we begin with a story that delves into the complex world of American politics and the individuals who shape it. In today's deeply divided climate, public figures face unprecedented dangers, threats that go beyond political disagreements and enter the realm of personal risk. Richard Grenell, a prominent and sometimes controversial figure, has held high-profile roles that have placed him at the heart of national and international affairs. Over the years, Grenell has served as U.S. Ambassador to Germany, where he navigated complex diplomatic relationships and represented American interests abroad, acting Director of National Intelligence, overseeing America's intelligence community during a particularly turbulent period, and now, President of the Kennedy Center, where he leads one of the nation's most prestigious cultural institutions. His close alliance with President Trump, combined with his outspoken and unapologetic style, have kept him in the national spotlight and made him a frequent target for both criticism and support. Grenell's willingness to speak his mind, regardless of the controversy it might spark, has earned him both loyal allies and passionate detractors. Throughout his career, Grenell has been at the center of heated political battles, drawing both praise for his boldness and fierce criticism for his views and actions. This high level of visibility comes with significant risk. Public figures like Grenell often become lightning rods for hostility, facing threats that most people can scarcely imagine. The constant scrutiny and pressure can take a toll, not just on the individual, but on their families and colleagues as well. The recent threats against Grenell's life are a stark reminder of the personal dangers that accompany public service in today's America. Law enforcement agencies have had to step in, providing protection and investigating credible threats to ensure the safety of those who serve. When someone occupies such prominent positions, they inevitably attract attention, not just from supporters in the media, but also from those with dangerous intentions. The glare of the spotlight can be both a platform and a peril, amplifying every word and action. The recent arrest in connection with threats against Grenell and President Trump is a sobering reminder of the risks public servants face every day, simply for doing their jobs. This story is about more than just one man. It's about the safety and well-being of all who serve in the public eye, and the challenges they must navigate in a world where the stakes have never been higher. The accused is Scott Allen Bolger, a 33-year-old resident of McLean, Virginia, a quiet suburb just outside the nation's capital. Bolger lived what appeared to be an unremarkable life, blending in with his neighbors and going about his daily routine like anyone else. To those around him, he seemed like an ordinary citizen, someone you might pass on the street without a second thought. But beneath this seemingly normal exterior, authorities say, was a man harboring deep political resentment that would soon spiral into something far more dangerous. According to investigators, Bolger allegedly crossed a critical line, moving from expressing political animosity online to making explicit criminal threats. His targets were not just any public figures, but Richard Grenell, a former U.S. ambassador, and even former President Donald Trump. The threats, authorities claim, were direct and chilling, raising alarm at the highest levels. The Justice Department responded swiftly, charging Bolger with making threats to kill both Grenell and Trump, as well as with lying to federal officers during the investigation. These are serious federal offenses, reflecting the gravity with which authorities view threats against public officials. If convicted, Bolger could spend years behind bars. The potential sentence underscores the severe consequences of turning online rage into real-world criminal acts. His arrest is a stark reminder of how digital threats can quickly escalate into federal cases, putting a human face on the growing problem of online intimidation and harassment. Law enforcement agencies are increasingly vigilant, tracking down those who cross the line from speech to crime. The upcoming trial will test the boundaries of free speech and criminal intimidation, forcing the legal system to grapple with where heated political rhetoric ends and unlawful threats begin. The outcome could set important precedents for future cases. Bolger's close proximity to Washington, D.C., and his alleged efforts to mislead investigators only add to the seriousness of the charges. The case has drawn attention from both local and national authorities, highlighting the risks posed by threats in the digital age. Now, as Bolger sits in a federal courtroom, his actions are under intense scrutiny. The nation watches as the legal process unfolds, waiting to see how justice will be served in this high-profile case. Bulger's threats weren't made in person, they arrived digitally, via Google Voice. This technology, often used for anonymity, emboldened him to send explicit, chilling threats to Grenell. The messages were not vague, they were direct statements of intent to kill, crossing the line from free speech to criminal conduct. Law enforcement takes such digital threats seriously, especially when they target public officials. The illusion of online anonymity is just that, an illusion. Investigators can trace digital footprints, from IP addresses to account details, back to the source. Bulger also allegedly threatened President Trump, escalating the case to a matter of national security. The swift federal response reflects the seriousness of threatening high-profile figures. What began as online messages now echoes in a federal courtroom. The FBI's investigation demonstrates how digital threats can be traced and prosecuted. After Grenell received the messages, federal authorities quickly traced the Google Voice account to Bulger. Subpoenas to Google revealed the account's registration details, linking Bulger to the threats. Electronic evidence and phone records solidified the case. When agents confronted Bulger at his home, he allegedly lied about his identity, compounding his legal troubles. Lying to federal agents is a felony, and this act added another charge. The attempt to deceive investigators only strengthened the case against him. Bulger was swiftly arrested, showing law enforcement's high priority on threats against public officials. The digital trail in his alleged deception paved the way for prosecution. After his arrest, Bulger appeared in federal court for a crucial detention hearing. Prosecutors argued he posed a danger to the community, citing the explicit threats against Grenell and Trump. On December 30, 2025, Judge William Fitzpatrick ordered Bulger held in pre-trial detention. The judge ruled that no release conditions could ensure public safety, given the nature of the threats. This decision is a significant win for the prosecution and underscores the gravity of the charges. The presence of top Justice Department officials at the hearing highlighted the case's importance. Bulger will remain in custody as he awaits trial, facing the consequences of his alleged actions. The court's message, threats against public figures, will be met with serious legal consequences. In a tense courtroom, Richard Grenell's victim impact statement drew a sharp and necessary line between the cherished right of free speech and the grave danger posed by criminal threats. Grenell's words echoed through the chamber, reminding everyone present that while the First Amendment protects robust debate and even heated disagreement, it does not shield those who cross the line into violence or intimidation. Grenell acknowledged that political disagreement is a cornerstone of democracy, and that passionate arguments are part of a healthy society. But he insisted with unwavering conviction that threats of violence, no matter the motivation, are never acceptable and must be condemned without hesitation. He emphasized the crucial difference between expressing an opinion, even a controversial one, and threatening someone's life or safety. The former is a right, the latter is a crime that undermines the very foundation of civil discourse. This individual crossed the line from sharing a viewpoint to wanting to shoot someone in the face, his statement read, underscoring the severity of the threat and the chilling effect such words can have on public life. Grenell connected the threats he received to a broader, troubling pattern of violence in society, referencing the recent assassination of his friend, Charlie Kirk. He spoke of the pain and fear that ripple outward from such acts, affecting not just individuals, but entire communities. He warned that violent rhetoric, when left unchecked, can escalate and lead to real-world tragedy. Words, he argued, are not harmless when they incite or encourage violence. They can become the spark that ignites disaster. Grenell's words reminded the court of the human cost behind the headlines, urging everyone to remember the lives forever changed by acts of hate and aggression. His statement was both a plea for accountability and a call to defend the democratic norms that protect us all. He urged the court to take threats seriously and to uphold the rule of law. The impact of Grenell's testimony was clear. Threats are not just words. They create real fear, disrupt lives, and demand a serious collective response from society to ensure safety and justice for everyone. Bulger's arrest is part of a disturbing trend. The The rise of political threats and violence in America. Hostility and polarization have escalated, with public officials and activists increasingly targeted. Law enforcement and polls confirm a surge in threats, affecting figures across the political spectrum. Social media amplifies extreme views, making it easier to issue threats and harder to maintain civility. Experts warn that normalizing violent rhetoric lowers the barrier to real violence. The Grenell case is a stark example of how political animosity can turn into criminal action. This is not just about one incident, it's a symptom of a deeper problem in our political culture. Addressing it requires more than prosecution. It demands a collective rejection of violence as a political tool. The fear of political threats is grounded in recent devastating events. Grenell's reference to Charlie Kirk's assassination is a grim reminder of the stakes. Kirk's murder, along with the killings of 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota, shows that no ideology is immune. These tragedies highlight the breakdown of peaceful political norms. For every high-profile murder, countless threats and acts of harassment go unreported, creating a climate of fear. Plots to kidnap officials, assaults on lawmakers, and attacks on judges have become alarmingly common. This context explains why authorities treat threats with utmost seriousness. The memory of recent victims hangs over every new case, underscoring the need for vigilance. Law enforcement acts not just to punish, but to prevent the next tragedy. Protecting public figures is more challenging and more vital than ever. The Bulger case shows how quickly law enforcement can act to neutralize threats. The legal system draws a firm line. Threats of violence are not protected speech. This boundary is essential for the safety of public servants and the health of democracy. Public figures must remain accessible, but that openness brings risk. Agencies like the FBI and Secret Service balance security with democratic values. Ultimately, real safety depends on rejecting violence and restoring respect in political discourse. The arrest of Bulger is a necessary response, but it's also a warning. We must lower the temperature of our rhetoric and recommit to peaceful, democratic norms.